누군가는 그걸 용서로 되찾고 누군가는 복수로 되찾는 거죠.
Come on now. Hello and welcome back to Actually Let's Talk About It. I am your host Lily, and today I will be reacting to The Glory episode 13. It has been a long time coming, y'all, and I do apologize for the wait for those of y'all who are subscribed for the reactions to the TV series. I have been really focusing on the music, like I've been doing album reactions and music video reactions and movie trailer reactions, and I have it's been weeks on the YouTube channel and almost a month on Patreon since I've done a TV series reaction, and I'm back here to finish out The Glory. So I will be episodes 13, 14, 15, and 16. So we have 4 more episodes of this series before we are done with it. And I do realize that the second part of The Glory has been out since March 8th, and I do apologize, y'all, but I have been busy. Like I said in my other video, I've been a little busy. So yes, now I do have time, and here I am. And here we are to watch this reaction of The Glory episode 13 together. And if you are watching on Patreon, again, thank you so much for being a patron. And if you are not yet watching on Patreon, but you want to see the full reaction that's not released on YouTube, I'm going to link it in the description box below, and you can do what you want to do with that. And then if you didn't want to do that, that is perfectly fine. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, but here you are, don't forget to press the subscribe button and also turn on the post notifications so you'll be notified when a sister posts, so you can see what you want to do in terms of looking at the video or something. You know, it's up to you. But yes, so without further ado, we are going to get straight into the reaction of The Glory. Episode 12 left us with a lot to think about. Like, we been knew Dong-Eun's mother was a deadbeat, but we been knew that since episode 1, when she sold out her daughter for some cash and changed the reason why she left her high school when she could have had her justice then. And then I'm like, okay, but it came back around and her mother still chose to do the wrong thing. And I'm so disappointed in her mother, yet it's expected because that's what low lifes do. They're gonna be low. And you know, they'll get theirs eventually because the ancestors don't like ugly, and that's definitely ugly behavior. Selling out your kids for money ain't cute in no universe. Even if we had a multiverse, it would never be cute in any other verses. So let's be for real. But, you know, Dong-Eun is still coming on top. She did get fired from her teaching job because of Yeon-Jin's crazy self. But Yeon-Jin's about to get exposed. Because who would have thought that Dong-Eun's friend that she befriended back at the factory was in fact the sister of the woman and the daughter of the mother of the young woman that Yeon-Jin killed back in high school, that they tried to say was a suicide when it wasn't. And I'm like, the world be real small in these K-dramas. And they're just showing how everything, you never know how the events can affect so many different people from one event that she did. How many people are feeling the effects of the pain that she caused. And Yeon-Jin about to get hers. I don't know what's about to happen in this episode, but it's justified. Whatever they do to Yeon-Jin is justified. That's all I'm going to say. So whatever she gets by the end of the series, justified. I want her to be locked up in a cell. I want her to be locked up. I want her to feel her freedom and never coming back to her for the rest of her life. I don't want her to have like a clean or a mess, even a bloody death. Nah, that's too good for her. I want her to suffer in a cell, suffer being around people just like her. That's going to be the biggest punishment for her because she never thought she would get caught. And Yeon-Jin about to get hot. I feel it. Okay, but without further ado, we gonna get straight into it. We just gonna see what's gonna happen and what's gonna be done about Miss Yeon-Jin here, because Dong-Eun got something for her. Now that she done took her job from her, but she loved her teaching job and she worked hard to get it. Like she said in the last episode, you shouldn't have did that. And I'm like, you shouldn't have did it. Because before she was just part-time coming for y'all. But now she's full-time. She about to be on that ass. And I'm about to wait to see it. And I love to see it. I love to see good people triumphing over evil. I love to see evil people getting what they deserve. I live for it. Anyway, we're going to get into it. So both leave. Sora and Yeon-Jin are getting exposed. Wow, wow, wow. Mm-mm-mm. And it's obvious, like in Korea especially, that the court of public opinion, when you come out with a scandal like a bullying scandal, let me unfreeze this. Okay, so when you come into like the court of public opinion in terms of Korea, from what I've seen and what I've heard, you are guilty until proven innocent in terms of bullying scandals and drug scandals. Like the way that the netizens can get on people, I'm like, I haven't really seen anything like that, because in the States, when it comes to like, we don't really have like we do have scandals, but it's usually different, a little bit different than what's considered scandals like in Korean entertainment industry and what's considered scandals by Korean netizens. So to see how the court of public opinion, especially online in Korea, is like how cutthroat it is in terms of like bullying scandals, but I see why. I didn't used to get why, oh, they were so on, they are guilty until they've been completely proven and completely absolved of the other, of all the accusations, until I saw this show. And then I'm like, okay, because they know how bad it can get. Because I'm like, they live there, and they know the culture of that high school culture, how, some people will use their position and their money to do certain things. And even if they don't have position and money, if you have looks and a following, you can weaponize that. So I'm like, okay, I didn't get it before, but I get it now. And I get that. So I'm like, it's kind of a double-edged sword kind of with that. But yeah, I get it though. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, because in America, sometimes it takes a lot for people to get quote unquote canceled. But even then, sometimes it don't stick. Okay, like there's a lot of, unfortunately, some men in America that should not be in no positions of authority or limelight that are there, and they've had all these crazy instances of racism or domestic violence, or in some cases murder, and they are still in the entertainment industry. So yeah, it's way different compared to how the West be handling stuff in the entertainment industry, and the way that Korea be handling stuff, like when certain things come out about people. So I'm peeping I'm peeping the difference, because it's substantial. It's substantial, okay? But yeah, and reputation is everything as well. So it's interesting to see a culture where reputation matters as much. Because in America, I wish it did, but I love this man. I will never not love this man. Sir, your wife is something else. I need you to just make a break for it and take Esau with you.
너랑 헤어지고 말고는 맨 나 좀 순서고.
He's like my money. And I forget about that. But because culturally it's just different, it's more traditional in terms of reputation. And that goes for not just Asian countries, but African countries as well. Reputation precedes you. Your integrity is your money. And once that is compromised and the public has gotten wind of that possible compromise of your integrity and your morality, like he said, the stocks are crashing. We have to get with the lawyers so that we cannot lose money here, because he is whole CEO of this company. And your wife is the weather woman who's known all throughout Korea, and she just got outed for being a bully. He's like, he don't even got time to figure out if I'm going to leave you, girl, because my money. It's not even our money, my money. Because you messed up. My money. Because she wasn't honest with her husband about her past. She said, why? Her excuse was, why do you keep digging? Well, you don't have to. Woman is crazy. But I'm hoping he finds a loophole in his marriage with her and takes custody of Esau, because Yeon-Jin does not deserve her. She literally does not. Homegirl going to jail because drugs are illegal in the country that she in. They're illegal here, but if you got enough money, you can make that go away. But in Korea, no matter how much money you got, you going. Oh, wow. Okay,
어디야?
so
오늘 시간
Yeon-Jin switched out the whole damn hard drive to cover up her murder. But that means that the hard drive, either her mother got it or the officer who her mother keeps aggravating got it. And that gonna come out. I already know that's gonna come out, y'all. I already know that's gonna come out. But let's continue. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, John got something to say. Let's get it.
연진이 살아있.
This man and his bubble baths, though.
왜 그러는데?
Outside of him needing their contact lenses, he always be up in a bubble bath.
너 이거
He'd be comfortable and clean.
누구한테 또 들려줬어?
If he wasn't such a horrible person, he'd be a pretty legit person. Girl,
신박하네. 프로포즈 멘트치고. 키우고 못 키우고가
I need her to
어딨어.
freaking stand up.
당연히
Because you on your
데려와야지.
knees right now, girl. And I need you to stand up. Because it's getting ridiculous. Is you a dog now? He told you to get in? Yeah. This woman ain't gonna disappoint me. He told her to get in like she a dog. Is she out here shedding layers? My expectations for this woman, the bar was already in hell, but she hasn't managed to make it go even lower than that. Because I'm like, girl, stand up. You are on your knees for no reason. Stand up. This is not the type of man you bow down for. He's not even ethical. He has no more moral compass. If he needed to betray you, trust in a heartbeat he would. If he needed to kill you, trust in a heartbeat he would. He would not even question it. He loves nothing but himself. Even him wanting to possess Yisol is simply that, to possess her. Not because he loves Yisol and he wants to take care of Yisol and he wants her to have the best life possible. It's just so he can have a one-up on Yeon-Jin because she doesn't love him. I'm glad he has a friend. Because we haven't really seen him. Like, we've seen him a little bit, but we haven't seen his interacting with his friends, so I'm loving this. That he can just relax outside of what he's doing with Dong-Eun. And I love it because it's showing that fineness doesn't have an age. One person you know is younger than the other, but it's both giving the same, how do I say it? It's not just that they're both physically attractive. It's the essence of who they are as people outside of this show. It is coming through on the scene. That's why you don't normally see these two in scenes together. Because it's powerful. Even when they don't say nothing at all. It's giving power.
못 따라가게 되는데 그러다 보면 내 집은 허물어져 있고.
Oh! We're not talking about the game, are we? Sir, we ain't talking about the game of Go right now.
그리고 그대로 가르쳤거든. 누군가는 그걸 용서로 되찾고 누군가는 복수로 되찾는 거죠.
Come on now. Oh, that's Yeon-Jin's mother. She gonna run you over, sir. I love how he's terrorizing her and how it's like killing two birds with one stone here.
예, 어린 나이에 괴롭히.
And I'm like, now, not all shamans are false, okay? Not all shamans are quacks. But in this particular case, I know this woman is full of it. Because there are people who can, it's an ancestral gift, because I've seen it. It's among Black people, or what we call the African diaspora. It is very prevalent to where things are just spoken to you. And it's just a knowing that you have of things are going to happen a certain way. And then when they do, everybody else around you might be shocked, but you're not. I've had several of those instances because it kind of runs in the family. So to see it being portrayed, but you can tell that this person is being portrayed as someone who's kind of leaning into the innocence of some people and the gullibility of people and using it to make profit, that's the issue. Because they're psychics, whatever you want to call them, psychics, shamans, priestesses, priests of certain types of spiritualities, you know, they exist and they communicate with their ancestors to find out answers and they can make money off of it. But this person ain't helping nobody. She's just making money off of a talent she ain't got. Because people can just find out things about you, like, oh, they can like kind of like feed you a little bit of information and then you provide the rest, and then they make assumptions and deductions based off of what you're technically feeding them, even though it's supposed to be a quote unquote reading. And that's what this woman is doing. But you know, we gonna see. We gonna see.
너무 심하게 당해. 나 전심을 타일스를 오고도 단독으로 다 떴어. 우연 치고는 너무 절묘하지 않냐? 꼭 일부러 너 이용해서 묻은 것처럼.
Don't be reading his stuff. Dong-Eun, you know better. Don't be snooping, girl. Really crazy. He look it. The actor is talented as hell.
지금도 그날 그 순간이 어제 일처럼 생생합니다. 코끝을 찌르던 그 피비린내. 3724 철조망에서 떨어져.
And that's something that you have to remember as a person. Evil doesn't need a reason to be. At all. Just like you don't necessarily need a reason to be a good person. Just like that. But somebody says, oh, why do you do these things? Just because. And that's in the same logic that evil people can use. Just because. To them, being evil makes them feel good. Just like to a good person, being good makes you feel good. There's not always a logical explanation that we can wrap our head around, or a logical reason, or any reason at all why people are the way that they are. Sometimes that is just who they are. And you have to get to a point where you don't need a reason, and we don't need to try to understand or surmise or justify or explain away why people do crazy things. Most of the time they are just crazy. And they delight in craziness. And I'm talking about the bad kind of crazy, because there is good crazy as well. But they delight in the bad kind of craziness. They delight in evilness and treachery and immoral things. We don't need to try to understand that, because there is no logic in it. But he's trying to explain, trying to figure out in his mind, because he is a doctor. And doctors rely on logic and figuring things out, even when sometimes there isn't any logical explanation for why something is or something happened. But the doctor in him is trying to figure out what's wrong with this person, because he's still seeing him as a patient. Even though this man killed his father, he's still kind of seeing him as a patient he might want to try. He has fantasies of killing, however, a patient nonetheless. But some people can't be cured of the madness that they have, and this man has a madness of his own choice. And until he chooses to stop, it will never leave him. And that's it, and that's all.
외국인만 대학 금지입니다. 떨어지세요. 수고하셨어요. 그쪽 스케줄 오면 전화 주시고요.
Dong-Eun, now I hope you put them letters back where you found them.
를 좋아했을 거예요. 99%?
It's bad, I swear. Like, he is such a helpless romantic, and I love this about him. I think we need this. He's so cute. Like, he is so adorable.
미안하거든.
Yep,
안녕.
yep. Yep. Because Esau deserves better than the biological parents she got. Because she's nothing like them.
살고 싶어. 요새 다 하와이 가더라고.
Please don't go to Hawaii, sir.
은퇴를 하시겠다고요?
And I do mean this wholeheartedly. Do not go to Hawaii. Do not go. Do not go. Unless you are planning to invest in the locals. And by locals, I mean indigenous Hawaiians. Do not go. Do not go. They have been telling people not to go. But if you're going to retire and pour into the local economy and not the big businesses, then you go on ahead and support indigenous people in their fight that is going on in Hawaii. And it's been going on since the United States. The way that the United States took Hawaii from the royal family of Hawaii. What's craziness in all of itself? So I'm like, I'm imploring y'all, just because it says it on the K-drama, do not be going to Hawaii as tourists. The best thing you could do in terms of helping the people of Hawaii who live there and who are trying to get their land back, their ancestral land back, so that big businesses can't take it, is not to go. And that's it. And that's all. I just thought I'd interject there. Because it's for real. Land back is for real. These indigenous people deserve their land back. And it does not deserve to be in the hands of people who want to exploit the island or the islands for money and profit, who have no ancestral connection to it, and who don't care about the environment and the ecosystem on the islands of Hawaii. Don't go. Don't support that. But why is she throwing things like a toddler? Even toddlers got more tact in class. Okay, y'all. Now. This is bringing up another social topic because we're having the same debate in the States, aka the United States of America, where men are trying to tell women they can't have abortions. But let this be an example, an exhibit A, of what can happen when women who should not have kids and who do not want kids are forced to have them because society is telling them it's the right thing to do. Look at that product. One of the examples of that. The craziness that Dong-Eun has had to experience in her life, and the complete and utter griminess of her mother, and the way her mother treats her, could have all been avoided if society wasn't trying to tell women that they need to have children that they didn't want to have. However, this woman is a deadbeat. She would have been a horrible person whether she had a child or not. And people like this shouldn't be allowed to procreate because they're just going to fail those children. Like she failed Dong-Eun epically and continues to fail her. Because she believes that, oh, since I birthed you into the world, just because you gave birth to somebody, nobody has to be born. So you didn't do me a favor or anybody else a favor by doing that. Let's be for real. And you trying to say, oh, I took care of you for 18 years, you're supposed to. You don't get a medal? That's what you're supposed to do as a parent. You're supposed to take care of the child or the children you willingly had. That's what you're supposed to do. And you don't expect for them to give that back to you when you've been a subpar parent, like she has. She's been a very subpar parent. I'm like, I could see you expecting Dong-Eun to take care of you now that you're older. When you've been a great parent. You know, I've always stood by your side. I've always been down for you. When you needed a place to say I was right here, then yeah, come to your kids with that attitude. But when you've been like Dong-Eun's mother, and you've been shady, and you've been wrong, and you've been evil, you've been spiteful, and you're working with the people who have done her harm, you deserve nothing. And I wish you the best. In terms of, not really, I'm lying, I don't wish you the best. I wish you the best in terms of the worst that could possibly happen to you. I wish you the best in that. Okay, because I like to put a little positive spin on it. So I do wish you the worst and the best of the worst. I want you to choke on it. Dead body.
시체 아직 안 묻었거든.
뭐라고요?
This bitch is
절대
crazy.
용서 안 할 거야.
Don't ever forgive her. Don't ever. Because she don't deserve your forgiveness. Because, and I'm going to keep saying this forever, forgiveness, a synonym of forgiveness is pardon. You never want to pardon somebody of the evil that they've done to you ever. Because the forgiveness that you give them is not for you. It's for them. It's most of the people who have done crazy things against you as a person don't deserve your forgiveness. You can go through this entire lifetime not forgiving certain people for things, and you will be just fine. Because it's not a requirement. I don't have to forgive you for hurting me. I don't have to forgive you for abusing me. I don't have to forgive you for aiding and abetting the abuse of me. And those are just examples. But you do not ever have to forgive anybody for causing you harm or distress or emotional damage or physical damage or psychological, because those are unforgivable things. And I don't know where this whole forgive and forget thing, so you're not only pardoning them, you're trying to forget what they did to you so that they can not have any accountability. Because to me, forgiveness or pardoning somebody has always been about the perpetrator or the abuser not taking accountability for their actions. So no, I'm not going to forgive you. I want you to be accountable until the day you die, and even when you die in the next life. I want you to still be accountable there too. I want you to never be able to escape the accountability, because my forgiveness would grant you escape. It would grant you a pardon in this life and the next, and you don't deserve it as somebody who's done me wrong. And that's how you gotta see it. And that's all I'm gonna say. You know, you can take these words of wisdom or you cannot. But that's it. And that's it. That's it. And that's period. Wow. She's sadistic. She ain't never gonna ask you to forgive her.
고마워. 하나도 안 변해서
So she never has to forgive you. Don't ever change.
정말 고마워.
Yo, that was... All I gotta say is Dong-Eun's mother does not deserve good things. That woman deserves the absolute worst, and I hope that she gets it. Okay? That's what I'm gonna say. I hope that she gets the absolute worst. Okay? That is all I'm gonna say about it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Because she's crazy. She is insane. She is utterly insane. Completely, utterly insane. I don't got nothing much else to say about her. She crazy. But the fact that we got more backstory into the doctor and where his mind is at, and now that Dong-Eun knows the truth about him, how she's even softening more to him. And also, I want to see what the heck Dong-Eun gonna do with the recording of her crazy ass mama. Is she gonna use that to get her job back? I don't know. And then now that Yeon-Jin's murder of Myung is coming out because his body was not destroyed, and that officer is like, I need my retirement, so I'm gonna let this body get found by the police, and you know, if you want your alibi to stick, run me my dough. And I'm like, are we expecting anything else out of an unethical cop? It would be foolish to think he would be anything but unethical. I'm like, so what are we really thinking here? You know, so I'm like, what are we really doing here? But you know, outside of that, I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen with Yisol, because we did see her for like a few seconds here. But the fact that Dong-Eun apologized to her, I think that says a lot. It says a lot about what's about to happen in terms of Yisol's life, because you know them kids gonna start talking at that school about her mama. You already know. And I'm not saying that children can be evil, but yes, they can. They can break you down like a fraction and grind you into dust with their words. Okay? And sometimes they don't mean evil intent by it. And sometimes they're just repeating what their parents have said, but they can hurt you. Their words hurt a little bit deeper than if it was somebody in middle school or high school, just because of the genuine innocence of most children. So they would be hurting. So I'm hoping Yisol got some thick skin on her, because it's about to get real. I already know in episode 14, I already know it's going to be something else. But yeah, that's my reaction to the Glory episode 13. I'm excited for episode 14 and what's going to happen, because I'm not sure where exactly it's going to go yet. We still got 3 people technically 4 people from her bullying group who are still living. And we still need to figure out what happened with So-hee. And if Yeon-Jin is going to be held accountable for her murder the way she needs to be, and the murder of her unborn child as well. And also the fact that our good doctors, his mother, who is the director of the hospital, she is still refusing to take the body off of ice. And they're still trying to get, I don't know why they're trying to investigate that when they got actual crimes that could be stopping, but you know. When some people with money ask little cops to do a little something. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, I gotta see we want to see what's going on with that as well. So I will be back with the episode 14 reaction very soon because I'm filming them back to back. But if you are watching this on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and click the bell notification. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a good thumbs up and to leave a comment down below if you would like to about what you thought about this episode, what you thought about this Glory, this series overall. But try not to, or no, you're gonna include spoilers because I mean, like, it's a reaction, so there's already gonna be spoilers in here, kind of. But yeah. Don't try to give it too blatantly obvious of the spoilers, but you know, little sprinkle something. But anyway, and then if you're watching on Patreon, again, thank you for being a patron. Y'all will get first access to these videos that I'm doing. And yeah, expect more content soon, just in general on all platforms. Again, Patreon will see it first. And if you want to see it first, don't forget to check out the tiers and peruse the content and see what moves you. And then also, I'm starting to, for the patrons out there, I'm going to start making more Patreon exclusive content. So that will never, will not air at all on YouTube. So look out for that as well. And then in addition, I just have to plan what it's going to be. And then in addition to that, that's pretty much all I have to say. And also thank y'all who are subscribed on my YouTube channel for subscribing. It really means a lot. And you know, the support is just really awesome. I love how much the channel has grown since December, especially because it went from December and then I didn't post again until like almost the end of January. And then it kind of picked up from there. And I'm really loving the response and the acceptance and the support that the videos are receiving. And, you know, even when some videos don't hit on YouTube, just the fact that anybody's watching is really a big deal. So, you know, y'all, it's really appreciated. And until next time, y'all, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.